Congratulations on being accepted into the Urban Arts Gallery Boutique. This video will explain how to get your products gallery ready and submit your inventory information. Each item must be labeled with the item title, the artist name, and the price. Art prints must be in a plastic sleeve with a backing board, otherwise your print will be floppy and vulnerable to damage. Wall pieces must have hanging hardware installed, even stretched canvases. Be sure to paint the sides of your canvas for a more finished professional look. Presentation is key. If possible, please provide the items or equipment necessary to display your products, such as racks, bins, stands, etc. You can find these items at art supply stores, thrift stores, or you can craft your own display solution. There are two ways you can approach your inventory, the thorough way and the fast way. The thorough way is better in almost every regard except that it requires more time and effort on both your part and ours. We'll go over the thorough way first, then explain the fast way. We use Google Sheets and Google Drive to collect and organize your inventory information. If you don't already have a Google account, we'll need you to create one. You don't have to create a new Gmail address necessarily. You can link your current email address to a Google account. You'll receive an email from Staff Urban Arts Gallery inviting you to collaborate on a shared folder. This folder contains another folder to upload images to, as well as your inventory spreadsheet. We recommend starring this folder so you can easily find it later on. Let's start with the spreadsheet. You'll need to fill out a row for each item you're dropping off. Remember that you can copy and paste identical information to save time. The drop-off date is very important and will help us differentiate batches of inventory that you bring us over time. Item title should match the label on your physical product. Since we're doing things the thorough way, we'll enter the titles of every single product we're dropping off. Description is where extra information such as the medium, materials, edition number, and any other details you want to communicate to a potential buyer should be included. Size, dimensions goes in the next column to the right. You get to set your own price for your items, but remember the gallery commission rate is 40%, so if your item sells, you'll only receive 60% of the figure you enter here. Be sure to take this into account when choosing your prices. If you need guidance or advice on pricing, feel free to reach out to us and we'll do our best to help. Quantity is the number of that item that you're dropping off to us. This will be different for everyone, but as a general rule, we don't need large numbers of duplicates. You don't need to bring 100 copies of each print, for example. It should be closer to 3 or 5. SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization, and is where you can list keywords and search terms that might help your item show up in an online search. This only applies to items on our online store, and as we'll discuss later, not everything will end up on the online store. Back in the Google folder that contains your spreadsheet, you'll find the folder to upload your images. Having quality image files of your work is a crucial part of being an artist, so if you don't have images of them yet, we definitely recommend researching the process and getting photos or scans taken. If you are unable to upload image files, no worries. It just means that your products will not be eligible to be listed on the online store. Once your products are packaged and labeled, your spreadsheet is filled out, and your images are uploaded, you can bring your stock into the gallery. We won't be able to put them out on the floor immediately, however. We'll still need to enter all of your information into our Square system and attach barcode labels to them. Depending on how many other artists are in line and how many items you have, this process may take up to a couple of days. For this reason, it's very important that you do not add your restock directly to your display, but instead leave it with us at the front counter. Now for the fast way. You'll still need to add your inventory information to the spreadsheet, as already explained, but you can choose to list your items in generic batches rather than separating them by individual design or title. For example, if you have 20 different designs of art prints that are all the same size and price, you could choose to list assorted prints on one row of your inventory spreadsheet rather than listing 20 different titles on 20 different rows. To be clear, you would still need to list differently priced items on different rows so we can make sure to price them correctly in our system. For example, you could list assorted 8x10 prints at $15 and assorted 11x14 prints at $25. There is a major trade-off that comes with doing your inventory the fast way. If you choose to list your items as a generic batch, we will not be able to provide you with an itemized inventory report or a detailed sales report. We'll only be able to say you have 8 assorted prints left or you sold 3 prints this month, but we won't be able to tell you exactly which prints they are. You would need to personally come to the gallery and evaluate your stock to determine which designs have sold and which need to be restocked. You can even do some items the thorough way and some items the fast way. One of our artists, Vanessa Kalunga, sells small buttons for $2. They come in an enormous variety of images and are inexpensive enough that it's not really worth the time and effort to account for them individually. In her case, we list the buttons as assorted buttons, but we still track her individual art prints. Your strategy can depend on the price point and quantity of the particular item. If you're unsure how to proceed with labeling or tracking your products, please reach out to us. We'll be happy to help. It's important to understand that your inventory spreadsheet will not be kept up to date as items sell. This is simply our way of collecting item information for each drop-off. Once we enter that information into Square, sales and inventory are tracked there. Regardless of whether you've done your inventory the thorough way or the fast way, we'll send you a sales report every month so you know exactly what's been happening. You can also email us anytime and ask for a detailed inventory report. Hopefully, it won't be too long before you need to restock some or all of your products. When this time comes, simply enter the information for your next batch of inventory below your previous list. After we process your items, we'll add a gray divider row to make it visually easier to distinguish between your drop-offs. Remember, even your restocked items must be individually labeled. In general, we ask that once your items are dropped off to the gallery, they stay here for the duration of your contract term. If you're doing markets or festivals in addition to selling at the gallery, you should have a separate supply of products to stock those events. When artists take their gallery stock away for special events, it effectively wastes the time it took for our staff to process your items, and it can leave our shelves looking bare and unappealing. However, sometimes it can't be avoided that you need to remove an item. For example, if a high-priced product or original painting hasn't sold for a while, you may want to replace it with a different piece. In that case, simply email us at staff@utaharts.org and let us know, and we'll work with you. We put a featured selection of items on our online store. Items are only eligible to be listed on the online store if you've entered the inventory information in the thorough way and have uploaded a high-quality product photo to your images folder. In general, we only list originals and bestsellers on the online store. You can request that certain items be added instead of others, but otherwise we'll choose which items to list. The online store does not account for a significant part of our total sales, so there's no need to worry if your product doesn't get listed there. That should get you started. As always, please feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions or concerns. Congratulations again, and we look forward to working with you.